Are you afraid of being seen? Do you find that every time attention comes your way, you kind of duck and dive? You don't admit to your greatness. Say you have a master's degree, but you don't tell anybody. Or you own your own business and you're a coach and you do some good coaching, but you don't tell anybody. Or perhaps you just want to lose weight and you've lost 20, 30 pounds, but you don't make mention and nobody can really tell when you're on Zoom. Hello, I'm Karen Barno, and I'm your host on a Blue Rose podcast. Blue Rose podcast is dedicated to women seeking their possibilities, to open the door to answer their true calling, to seek out who they are, to reconnect, recreate, and reawaken their inner self, reawaken their blue rose. As you all know, blue roses are not created in nature. So blue rose is enlightenment, it's enchantment, it's taking that chance on you. It is being unique. I have so many clients that come to me, and when we get to the bottom line of what their real issues are in my Confidence Reclaimed coaching classes, is they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be the center of attention, or they can be a center of attention to this, but not to that high. They can be the center of attention in a regional position, but not a vice president, or as a vice president, not a CEO. They have their lid. And they can't go beyond the lid. And if you don't know what the lid looks like, sit down and think in your life, is there a pattern that keeps repeating? Because remember, everything is about patterns. Everything in this universe is pattern driven. So if you get the, you start your own business, you're doing well, you get that third client and you don't feel well all of a sudden, or you get busy at your other place, or, you get into a relationship, man, you're crazy about this guy or girl, they're the best ever. And then they kind of get close and you come up with a million reasons to break up with them. That's a pattern. And those patterns play out in your life. And a lot of times it's what creates the feeling that women have to play small. And it can be, you don't deserve the attention. You're not worthy enough of the attention. It all comes back to childhood and what you were told. A lot of women that don't like to be seen are fearful of criticism, ridicule, because they had highly critical parents. In my generation, women of a certain age, over 55, we were criticized a lot because that was just the very beginning of the women lib movement, what they called the women lib movement. And then now, National Organization for Women, that was just the beginning of it. So we were criticized a lot. We were criticized in the paper. I mean, even till today, you'll open up the newspaper or social media, and somebody will be in this gorgeous outfit, and somebody will be like, "Well, she's not thin enough to wear that." That's criticism, and that causes people to pull back. It causes people to say, "I don't want to be out front because I don't want to be criticized." But criticism, to me, is telling me I'm on the right track. If people get up and say, "Well, doesn't she think she's all bougie in that outfit?" Or doesn't she think she's all that because she's always, on stage and talking? I don't think I'm all that, but I know I'm following my true calling. I know I'm answering the bell. And it took me years to do that because I would only be seen to a certain point. If I got too much attention, I'd pull back. If I was on the front page of the paper, whether it was good or bad, and a lot of times if you're on the front page of the paper, trust me, it's typically not very good, then I would pull back. If somebody criticized me, their shoes, why are you wearing those shoes? Or, why do you, trip over your R's and your S's? I would pull back because I too had very critical parents. My mom was extremely critical. Now, as I get older, I understand why. I mean, when she was in high school or grade school all the way through, she went to parochial school and she was left-handed, and the nuns just whooped on that poor woman. So she would learn how to write right-handed, but she would defy them because she, at her core, knew she was left-handed. So she would come home with, bloody knuckles. She'd have to wear a tongue home because she talked too much. And, I remember her telling me, and she'd be like, I'd look over to somebody and say, "Do you have a pencil?" And she would get criticized. So because she was so criticized, she passed that along without meaning to, because I too am left-handed and I have this big personality, and it freaked her out because she didn't want me to go through the pain she went through. So she was very critical. Now, when I was younger, it was like, "What is wrong with you, woman?" But now that I get older, I understand that I wish that she was still alive so I could say to her, "Mom, I get it. But, kids got to be what they got to be. And if you're a mom and you're kind of critical and you think you're protecting your children, kids got to be what kids got to be. I mean, whether they're going to be left-handed or they have a big personality, or they like to just stay in their room and read. I used to love to stay in my room and read. And I didn't know till again, I got older and realized I was empathic. And when I get around a lot of energy, I have to pull back. So see, these are patterns. And when you understand your patterns, then you can heal that so you can be seen, because everybody wants to be seen. And you can be the biggest introvert in the world, and that's cool. You still want to be seen. You may only want to be seen by your husband, your children, your inner circle, your workplace, but you want to be seen. So you've got to get back to that point when you kind of pull back, when you don't want to be seen, because you got to reconnect to that point. You got to go back and look at it and say, okay, what was said, what was done? So you can think, okay, what am I linking that memory to? Because everything's linked to a story. I mean, you hear all the time about limiting beliefs, and I'll talk about limiting beliefs later, but limiting beliefs are just the story you tell each other, or I'm sorry, the story you tell yourself. I guess maybe I do push personality going. It's a story you tell yourself. But when you can recreate that story within your mind, that's how you start to heal it. Healing your beliefs is not magic. It is just telling a different story with conviction, clarity, and courage. And then you reawaken. You reawaken to your blue rose. You reawaken to what you know you love to do. So if you're playing small, if you're so afraid of, if so fearful of being seen, ask yourself why. Everything starts at why. Doesn't matter what you want to do. And if you follow a lot of my podcasts, I talk about why all the time, because everything begins and ends with why. Why are you afraid of being seen? What happens if somebody, and then the next question is, I don't want to be criticized. Well, what happens when somebody criticizes you? Probably really nothing catastrophic, because you're of an age where you can't really be hurt. You're of an age where you control your own destiny. So let's get to work. Okay, we got a couple weeks until the new year. All these podcasts, I want to lead you down the road to get you prepared for the new year. So when January 1st hits, you fling that door open and you're like, I am here. I am ready. Remember Helen Reddy, I am woman, hear me roar. That's what I want out of all of you guys. I want you to embrace your inner roar. I want you to find your blue rose, and I want you to live every moment in the blue rose. I want you to live every moment in your possibilities. So if you're afraid of being seen, look at the patterns, reconnect to them, recreate the story you're telling yourself, and reawaken. If you need help, check out my webpage. I do one-on-one coaching. I'm going to start January 3rd doing a group coaching. That'll be introduced probably right around Thanksgiving as a Black Friday special. I'm gonna reduce the fees as a Black Friday special, and as a hello everybody, 2022 is going to be awesome. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Please DM me if you want, over on my Facebook page or LinkedIn. Feel free to DM me, you guys. I am here to help you. I have spent way too many years hiding and being afraid of being seen and playing small, and no more. And I don't want you to either. Here's to you finding your blue rose. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you.